All right, let me tell you one of the most surreal, only in Hollywood stories I think I've ever heard. It's a really short anecdote, but man, it tells you absolutely everything you need to know about the bizarre world a superstar like Elvis Presley was living in.
It sounds like the beginning of a joke, doesn't it? But this isn't a setup for a punchline. This actually happened. And it's this one single moment, stuck in traffic, that just perfectly captures the strange reality of being that famous. So this is the line that kicks the whole thing off. Just try to imagine you're driving down the street, you look over, and that's the voice you hear from the car next to you. It's just such an impossibly casual greeting between two absolute giants of entertainment. Okay, so let's really set the scene here. Because to get how truly wild this moment was, you gotta know exactly who we're talking about and where this all went down. We're on Sunset Boulevard, right near UCLA. And Elvis, well, he wasn't exactly hard to spot. He's cruising around in this massive, over-the-top, and honestly kinda ugly Rolls-Royce limo. Get this, it was the only one like it in the entire country. So yeah, it was unmistakably him. He might as well have had a giant neon sign on the roof that just said Elvis. So in one car, you've got the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley, surrounded by his whole crew, the famous Memphis Mafia. And in the car that pulls up right next to him, none other than Judy Garland. We're talking Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, an absolute icon of Hollywood's golden age. Two titans of pop culture about to have a shockingly normal chat in traffic. And here is where it gets really good. So you've got Judy Garland literally hanging out her car window trying to get his attention. You'd expect some huge dramatic reaction, right? Well, that is not what happened. Not even close. Inside Elvis's limo, it's not even him who notices it first. It's one of his friends. Can you picture that? They're just driving along and someone has to yell over, "Hey, Elvis, I think that global superstar is trying to say hi to you." This totally sets the stage for Elvis's reaction, which is really the whole point of the story. And this slide just perfectly lays out the punchline. Any normal person, you or me, we would be losing our minds. We'd be screaming, fumbling for a pen for an autograph, just completely starstruck. But Elvis? He just coolly lowers his window, nods, and goes, "Fine, how you doing?" Like he's talking to his neighbor getting the mail. The casualness of it's just hilarious. But just when you think the story's over, that's the punchline. Nope, it gets even weirder. Because you see, Judy Garland wasn't alone in her car. There was another celebrity, a third legend, sitting right there in the passenger seat next to her. This is the part that takes this story from just a cool celebrity sighting into something completely surreal. So who was this third person in the car? Who was witnessing this bizarrely low-key exchange between two of the biggest stars on the planet? It was Jack Paar. And as if things weren't already strange enough, after Elvis gives his calm little reply to Judy, Paar leans forward from the passenger seat, almost like it was an afterthought. Now, for anyone who doesn't immediately know the name, let me be clear. Jack Paar was a giant. He was the original host of The Tonight Show. He basically invented the late-night talk show format that we still know today. Before there was Johnny Carson, Jack Paar was the undisputed king of late-night television. So having him here makes this a true collision of cultural forces. And that's what he says. "Oh, by the way, I'm Jack Paar." It's almost sheepish, like he's worried he's going to be left out. One of the most famous men on television had to introduce himself to Elvis in the middle of traffic. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. So look, this isn't just a funny story. This brief little encounter on Sunset Boulevard is a perfect snapshot of the unbelievable alternate reality that Elvis Presley lived in. It tells us something really profound about what his level of fame was actually like. So here's what this moment really boils down to. For Elvis, fame was like this giant insulator. An encounter with Judy Garland and Jack Paar just didn't faze him. It was just another Tuesday. It also shows you there was a celebrity hierarchy, and these other huge stars were the ones reaching out to him. He lived in a world that was so detached from normal life that the extraordinary had become completely casual. This kind of thing was just another part of his day. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? What would have been the story of a lifetime for literally anyone else was, for Elvis, just a fleeting, unremarkable moment on his drive home. It's just such a powerful illustration of the bubble that he lived inside. So we're left with this one last thought, right? If a drive-by hello from Judy Garland and the inventor of late-night TV was totally normal, it just makes you wonder, what on earth would have actually counted as a strange day in the life of the king?